All right, hey everybody, Dave Schroeder here, next edition of Newrez Voices. First of its kind edition. We're here live with Bob Johnson at the Purchase Palooza. Yeah, this is amazing. Usually it's over Teams, but being face to face, I feel like it's going to add something totally different.
Maybe it will, maybe it won't.
So Bob Johnson, head of originations for all of Newrez, which encompasses a lot. All of our originations, our operations, our capital markets, product. What else is in there, Bob?
A little bit of the analytics team also.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So good pulse on Newrez, great history. So maybe we should start there, Bob. Tell us a little bit about kind of how you came to Newrez, and you're a great story about just kind of the evolution of Newrez over the last several years.
Yeah, well, I started in business right out of college. I actually worked as an intern in between my junior and senior in college. So the mortgage business is all I've really ever done. It's kind of like all I know how to do. So it's been a little over 30 years. I joined Newrez back in 2012. So I was New Penn at the time. So I've been here for, 13 and a half years or so. And, I kind of came into it as I sought out Jerry, who was running New Penn at the time, and kind of bugged him a little bit and eventually convinced him to hire me. And I was running the secondary market or capital markets group for my first job here at New Penn. And then over time, I've just done different things. And as things have fallen into place, I kind of get myself involved in a bunch of different things. And now I run the Originations group. And like you said, it's got, a lot of different folks, and it's a great team, and makes my job easier, the folks that work for me. So
Yeah. And like we said, it's a wide-ranging group, which I think says something about the event we're at today of Purchase Palooza, where we've got 4 of our origination channels here. We're sharing best practices. And so maybe you can talk about how having all those things work together creates something stronger than it could ever be on its own.
Yeah, we do talk about having the 4 different origination channels all the time and how that is a benefit to us, but we don't really leverage the people together that much. Like, we do a lot of our events you do a retail event, you do a wholesale event, you do a direct consumer event, whatever it may be, but getting the different cross sections of the groups together and really focusing them on how they are sharing ideas and how, somebody in wholesale can help somebody in retail learn something or vice versa is really impactful and powerful. And I think that's what this event, and hopefully, events to come, are going to, help us drive, is really how we get, the full breadth of what Newrez does, not just at the leadership group, because we're all talking together and trying to share ideas, but our entire team really sharing all of their thoughts and experiences with each other to try and get Newrez and themselves to a better place.
Right. And we covered a ton of territory. And, I don't want to put you on the spot, but was there a moment or something that was talked about today that kind of stands out to you as being most interesting for people who weren't in the room?
I think the biggest thing is you just have to put in the work, right? And I think, you talk to the leading salespeople, you hear the leading salespeople talk, and it really is just their work ethic. They don't have some magical secret sauce. It's just they want to come in and they want to work hard. They have goals in their mind. And it's not, goals to do 2 loans today or 4 loans next week or whatever. They think about their families and they think about supporting their family. And that to me is super powerful, because there's no greater motivator than, being able to provide for your family. And that's what they use as their motivation. And they set goals based upon that.
Yeah, I think that's so right. That everybody knows what needs to be done. It's just having the resolve to do it every single day.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. The other thing, and as I opened up, you can't have a meeting without saying AI. And so we did, and we talked about technology and how it's evolving and how it's changing the way people do work. I know you're involved in a lot of projects with that. Is there anything you would say to kind of the folks that are listening about where you see AI realistically impacting our business in the next 12 to 24 months?
I think where it's helping us the most immediately is it's taking a bunch of the clerical work out of what we do. So things around how we manage customer complaints, for example, which unfortunately we do have. Now we're able to respond to those much quicker than we were in the past, because we can disintermediate the human who had to go and compile all the information. We have AI taking the complaint information and synthesizing it for an agent to then get back to a customer quickly. Things that we're learning on our sales floor about all the different call interactions that we have with folks. Just the amount of knowledge we're gaining through using AI, it allows us to just, again, strip mine all this information so much quicker than we ever could really before with people. And then on the technology side, as far as our operations group, I think there's so much more to come there from AI. And it's not, again, to in any way replace people. It's really to enhance and grow what the people here can do and use their strengths to do their thing, and you let the computer do its thing.
That's right. That's right. And we talked about that quite a bit today, of just AI and CRMs, things like that, kind of letting people really be their best selves.
That's right.
Because they're not spending time calculating a debt ratio, which a computer can do just like
Correct.
anything else. They're actually building relationships and getting out in the community. So,
Yep.
yeah. What do you, again, you've been with the company for 12 years? Was it even more?
13 and a half years.
13 and a half years. What do you think is changed about Newrez? What's kind of happened over time, and how do you think Newrez differentiates itself today?
When I first joined Newrez, we were much smaller. Again, it was New Penn at the time. What I think is different now is just it's our approach is, we had a kind of a sole proprietor when I first joined to some extent. But now being part of Rhythm and being part of that, kind of the mindset around, we're a piece of a larger machine, and owning this large MSR book and how we think about that is in the forefront of our organization, as opposed to, back in the beginning, it was more about, how are we acquiring new customers and whatnot. We were doing a lot of HARP loans at the time. But really it's about, how do we own the customer for life, and what do we do to enhance the customer experience so that they want to continue to stay with us, do new loans with us, buy another property, use us again. That's really and but what we haven't lost, I think, is kind of like the family feel.
Right.
When people come into this organization, they do realize pretty quickly that we joke around with each other a lot. We're a pretty tight leadership team, and all the teams I think below us are relatively tight. Because it is family, to some extent. So.
I agree. Which kind of, that's a good segue to the fact that you have your collar pop today, which is, a lot of people in the 80s would do that, especially the bad guys. Like, are you kind of a James Spader, Pretty in Pink, or, Johnny from Karate Kid? Where do you kind of put yourself in the spectrum?
I'm more in the Johnny role, and I do like they get him a body bag, kind of like, supporting character, stuff like that. But yes.
That's I'm trying to control myself in that presence, right? So if somebody wanted to have fun and work with us and work hard and make a difference, like is there a profile, that you think, somebody's watching this and thinking, yeah, I'd like to learn more about it. What are the kind of people or the things that we're looking for?
The people I think that do well at Newrez are the people who want to come in, and I mentioned that, you're going to want to work. Like, we are a working organization. We are not a bureaucracy.
Right.
And there are not people who kind of get a hall pass to sit around and just, spit thoughts out and not do stuff. So if you're ready to come in and work and be a contributor and have your voice be heard, Newrez is a great place for you, I think. So.
I totally agree. And anything that I haven't asked you about that you feel like people should know as they're watching this today?
About myself or about...
Yeah, about yourself, about Newrez, things that you're excited about.
I am, you touched on AI. I do think that is going to transform not just our industry, but our world. And I am super excited to see how, the next, quarters and years play out with AI. I just think it's going to really be a transformative thing. And you think back before, back when we were wee lads,
Yes.
There was no Google, there was no Amazon, and those things are just part of our everyday life. We can't even imagine not having them. And I think AI will be that same type of thing for us. It's not like people don't, read books anymore. They're still reading books and stuff like that. So it hasn't taken away from us. It's just enhanced our lives. And I think, things like Google and Amazon did that, and that AI will do the same just 25 years later.
That's right. I think, I know that's right. And we talked about that today as a team, of just the whole idea that we can't be afraid of it.
No.
We have to embrace it. It's here, it's happening. And those that don't do that will get left behind.
They absolutely
So
will.
there's really no choice. You need to make the time to dig into it. The organization needs to, and I think that's what Newrez is doing, is really, we've got a lot of smart people working on it and how it supports our systems and our business. At the same time, we're empowering our team members to get involved directly on Copilot and Try. And we talked about things today, like, hey, here's how I'm using this practically today in my business. It's like, oh, that's a great idea. So I can do that too. We can make that even more efficient.
Yeah, well, we both have kids in their 20s or whatever. They don't use Google anymore. They are asking AI. They call it, and not just Chat GPT. They just say, I just asked Chat that.
Yeah.
And so that is how they are searching for things today, and that's how they're learning through the internet. And they're not, doing what we do, which is Google everything.
Right. Bob Johnson, this has been an incredible interview.
It's been super amazing. Did you get your jersey today, Schroeder?
I did.
Yeah? Who gave it to you? Did someone present it to you, or was it you had to go take it yourself?
I had to present it to myself.
Oh, that's
which
kind of
it's
disappointing.
kind of lame, but I'm going to be sporting it tonight.
I'm sure you will be.
People know I'm a big jersey guy, so this is huge.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much.
Man. All right. We're gonna bump that.
I think
All
it's
right.
better. All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thanks.
See you.